What is up, financial family? It's your boy Financial eBucks, and I'm back again with another video. So the topic I'll be discussing in this video today is in regards to why the United States and the world abandoned the gold standard in 1971. The one thing you have to realize is that President Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard in 1971, August 15th, to be able to not hold the United States and the world accountable for them consistently printing paper money. Right? Their goal was to switch to paper money because they didn't want the gold standard, because of the effect that it has as an inflation hedge, to be able to hold them responsible for printing all the paper money that they had in store to print, or to be able to accumulate and continue to make as much money as they were going to make. Right? If they had the ability to do that on the gold standard, they would have kept the gold standard. The reason they took off the gold standard is because they didn't want to be held accountable for how much money they wanted to bring into the economy. But then they realized is that since gold is an inflation hedge, right? Gold is an inflation hedge. They couldn't make as much money as they wanted to make to be able to create everything that they wanted to create in the economy, right? Because obviously all of that takes money. But at the same time as well too, that is why they took off the dollar off the gold standard. And from that point, that is when the United States started printing paper money. The world, right? Every country that's part of the world could have decided to do it before or after 1971, but a whole lot also did it after 1971 as well too. Started resorting to printing paper money. And the thing you have to realize is that paper money basically doesn't have the same value as the gold standard would have had when it came to money. So in situations like that, you have to realize that all of the money that is being printed currently in society today, just the money that was printed alone last year during the onset of the pandemic, at least here in the United States, is what is basically contributing to most of the debt that the United States owes and the world owes. Because as they consistently print paper money, we are trending more in the state of inflation, right? Which basically is a cause, right, of the decreased purchasing power of the dollar, the decreased purchasing power of the euro, the decreased purchasing power of the naira, the decreased purchasing power of the yuan, and so on and so forth, right? As they continuously print more of their paper money, they are devaluing their currencies. And as they devalue their currencies, that decreases the purchasing power. As that decreases the purchasing power, that increases the rate of inflation. As that increases the rates of inflation, it also decreases interest rates. So they're all correlated to each other. So point is that the United States took the dollar off the gold standard. The world stopped going on gold because they wanted to continuously print paper money, which is only going to lead to increased inflation, decreased interest rates, right? It's going to move us in the path of hyperinflation, which we're already in, and we're moving forward, right, towards hyperinflation. So you have to be prepared for all of these things. The point on why I'm explaining these things to you guys right now, right, financial family, is for you guys to be aware of your financial literacy, increasing your financial education. Start investing in assets that are going to protect you and generate you cash flow. Let me repeat that again. Start investing in assets that are going to protect you, insurance, and generate you cash flow. Gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Bullet, Compound, so many of them, right? Gold and silver for generations upon generations have been an inflation hedge. Silver, same thing, if I didn't mention that already. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, cryptocurrencies, decentralized, not centralized, because when the currency and the asset system is centralized, what does that mean? That basically means that the government has the ability to interfere with the system, and they can manipulate it to however way they want. But when it's decentralized, they don't have as much power as you think they do. You have more power than them, right? You have more power than them. Not in its technical sense, but it's like you basically have the same amount of power, but you have more power basically by deciding how much Bitcoin and Ethereum you're going to purchase, because you realize at the end of the day that they don't have the ability to interfere with that system. It's just not centralized. It's decentralized. Nobody has the ability to affect it. So when you see these things for the way that they truly are, you want to invest in these assets that are going to generate you insurance and cash flow against the government, because I'm telling you, within the next 5 years from now, the world government will get to a point where they're going to confiscate gold. They're going to confiscate silver. They're going to confiscate cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. They're going to confiscate everything. But if you have them securely safe in either a vault or a digital wallet in which they cannot affect, which they cannot get to, you are protecting yourself. You're protecting yourself in the future, right? You want to protect yourself because they don't have the best interest in heart for you. They won't come out and fully tell you the truth, but they'll lie to you. That's why you have to grow in your ability to understand information for the way it truly is. Stop listening to social media as much. Stop paying attention to the media like the news as much. Because they're only going to tell you what they want you to know. Let me repeat that again. They're only going to tell you what they want you to know. They're not going to come out and tell you the full-on truth because they can't afford to tell you the truth. Because if they tell you the truth, they will either be censored or eliminated. That is it. That is how it is in this entire world. If you speak out against the wrongdoings of the world, they're either going to censor you or they're going to eliminate you one way or another. Because they don't want you to say the truth. They don't want you to be woke. They don't want you to be red pill. On this channel we're financially literate too. We have to keep growing in our awareness and our knowledge. Protect your purchasing power. Protect your insurance. Protect your cash flow. Right? If you want, these assets are what you should be investing in. Gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, and real estate. Real estate is basically the asset that you would invest in that would generate you that cash flow. Right? It can generate you cash flow. It can generate you capital gains. I wouldn't pay attention as much to capital gains because of the capital gains tax, but there's always a way to roll it over into a different property. The point is that there are many ways in which you can use to be able to generate assets that are going to generate you security and cash flow. You have to protect yourself because the way the world government is heading, they're only heading towards destruction. They're only heading towards destruction, and they want you to be destroyed as well too by giving you false sense of hope. Right? When it comes to these inflation rates right now, what they're telling you is that the inflation rates right now are transitory in the sense that they're basically going to subside once the economy's back in order, but they're never going to tell you that it's not really transitory. They're not going to really ever tell you that inflation is only going to get worse. They're never really going to tell you that interest rates are not going to go up. But they have to lie to you to keep you calm, but in all reality, they know that we are heading towards a path of no return. You got to see these things for the way that they truly are, right? And just because we're heading towards a path of no return doesn't mean that we can't return from it. But it's the steps that you take right now that are going to ensure whether you're going to return from that path of no return. We're trending towards it. We haven't fully entered into it yet, right? We might have entered into it, but fully entered into it basically means once you enter into it, you cannot retreat. Once you fully enter into it, you cannot retreat. These are the things that have to be paid attention to so that things can be improved over time and the world can actually live in peace and do the things that it needs to do for us to all survive and for us to be financially literate about the future. But for you to be financially literate about the future, you have to go back and learn from the past, aka history. If you understand, you understand. If you do not understand, you don't understand. This is going to be the end of this video. If you like this video, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel at Financial eBucks, FinancialEbuks, tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. And we're going to catch you later. Financial family, y'all take care. This is your boy Financial eBucks, and I'm out, man.